All right, what's going on, guys? Let's continue our little mini series of looking at some different lures here from 13 Fishing. Now, all their lures, at least all the soft plastics I've been able to find, are very small, kind of geared toward ice fishing. Obviously, here in South Florida, we don't have any ice, but we're going to be fishing this canal here that is behind me, and really should work about the same for all these kind of smaller fish. Now, normally when I pick fishing lures, most of the time, I like to go with more natural presentations. And this lure is one of the more natural looking lures that I've been able to find from 13 Fishing. So the name of the lure is a Spiny Lobster, and this is the black magic color, which really is more like a green pumpkin type of thing. It's more like a dark green with some white and gold glitter flake. So I'm going to get this out on a hook. I'll show it to you a little bit better once it's out on the hook, but I'm a little hopeful that this should work pretty well. The one problem is it has rained a lot here in South Florida over the last week and a half. The water levels were really high. Now they're still pretty high, higher than average. So I don't know if there's going to be a lot of fish in this canal if they kind of like spread out and dispersed with the higher water levels. But either way, let's try it out. Let's try out the Spiny Lobster and let's see what we can get on this thing today. Alright, so here's a little bit better look at the lure, the Spiny Lobster from 13 Fishing. It is on what I believe is a 0.3, so a 1/3 gram kind of ice fishing style jig head. I'm not sure on the size of the lure. Is it 0.75 inches, maybe 1 inch? Either way, still fairly small. Like I said, looks fairly natural. Looks kind of just like a little juvenile bug larvae of some type. But anyway, here is the the canal, and there's a pretty good amount of flow here today, just because, like I said, water levels are high. Don't see any fish down there, but let's see if we can jig this around some of this cover, and let's see if we can find some fish and entice them into biting the little Spiny Lobster. Alright, I'm not seeing many fish out here. There's a small gar over there. I always like trying to catch gar, even though I am almost always unsuccessful at it. We're going to need a better cast if we're going to catch that guy, because they very willingly bite, but they are very difficult to actually hook. That is also not a great cast. Let's try. That's a good cast. And he bit. Maybe he didn't bite. That's also a good cast. He's looking for it. He just keeps missing it. Right there, dude. Right there, right there, right there. Come on, dude. There you go. Got him. Got him. Can I catch him? I doubt it. I doubt I can catch him, but I'm definitely going to try. Nope. I've only got 3-pound test on here. These guys have very bony mouths. It's very hard for the hook to actually sink into something. Even harder for the hook to actually like stay hooked, and yep. And he's off. Would have been cool to catch it, but I was pretty sure that was going to happen. Not a lot of fish in here today. I don't know if it's the higher water or what, but I do really like the lure. It has a very natural presentation, very nice action in the water when you're swimming it. Not so great when you're jigging it, but I think that might be because of the jig head. When you're jigging it, it kind of spins in circles, but swimming, it swims very nicely, and just a little bit of flutter there on the tail. So we hooked up with one, couldn't land it. Let's keep going. Let's try to finally get a fish on the bank here. There he goes. He bit, but that's a nice peacock. I'm gonna have the same problem as I had with the gar, because this guy's gonna be hard to catch. And there goes my line. So I got my Daiwa Presso Extra Ultralight. I've got some 3-pound Japanese fluorocarbon on here. And unfortunately, that guy was slightly too big for this setup. I mean, with that little lure, I was really expecting more like some little sunfish and some smaller cichlids. I wasn't expecting, like, that bass was probably a solid 2-pounder. So unfortunately, we hooked up with 2 big fish and lost 2 of them. All right, let's retie and let's try to finally get something on the bank here. Got him. I might be able to catch this one. It's definitely the smallest of the day, but even this guy's fighting well. Oh man, he's in those weeds. This is a great combo for like open water. It is not a great combo for fishing all this cover and structure and for these bigger fish. All right, finally got one. All right, so first fish on the bank is this Mayan cichlid. Also put up a great fight like those first 2 fish, but thankfully we were able to land this guy. I'm not seeing many small fish today. Even this is bigger than the fish I was anticipating, but I'm seeing a lot of these like 2-ish pound peacock bass. I saw one really big grass carp, saw a couple fairly large largemouth bass similar to the peacocks, but I don't know where the small fish are, but the small fish don't seem to be here. Anyway, first fish on the bank on the 13 fishing Spiny Lobster. Let's get this guy back and let's keep fishing. Got him. I think that's another Mayan. Maybe. It might be something bigger. This is not fun anymore. He swam down in those lily pads and in those grasses. I don't know what it is. How am I going to get him out of there? Oh man. Like, this is usually my go-to combo for this canal, and I can usually do pretty well because I usually don't catch or hook up with fish of this size and this caliber like I have been today. Usually it's like little bluegills and like small juvenile cichlids, not like these big cichlids. He's still on, but he is wrapped up in there nicely. I think I'm about to lose this fish too. Well, these fish do like this lure. He's still pulling. These fish definitely do like this lure. They're biting. They're just a little too big for my liking. Oh, I could see yeah, it's gonna be a mine. I could see a lot of red, a lot of orange. My line is on the right side of that lily pad and seaweed pile, and I could see the fish. He's over on the left, so he swam all the way through. So to get him out, I'm gonna have to pull him through all this. I don't even know if I can do that with this 3-pound test. You've seen me lose enough fish today, but I think you're about to see me lose another one. All right. Oh, he's coming. Okay. I'm not out of the woods yet. Okay, got him through that, but now he swam down into a different pile. It's a Mayan. It's not even a big Mayan. It's just these guys fight really, really well, but I could land this guy. We got him through the tough stuff. Come here. All right, fish number 2 on the bank. He's not even that big. All right, Mayan cichlid number 2. I guess he is kind of big. He's not as big as Mayans could get, but I'm used to not catching them of this size on lures this small in this canal. Usually I can catch ones that are like that big over here, not more than twice that size. So again, great fight. Really surprised we were able to get this guy in, but I am happy we did. We didn't lose another lure. So let's get this guy back. Let's try to catch one smaller fish, and then we'll call it a day. If not, we'll just call it a day now. Alright guys, so that's going to do it, and I've been recording now for 72 minutes, so a little bit over an hour of fishing with the 13 fishing Spiny Lobster. Number one, I want to test this thing out again. I don't think the results today are very reliable. I think if you fish this in a body of water that is more normal, this is not sounding right. There's a lot of water in here, and there's normally not this much water in here, and I think that changed things a lot. If I were to fish this here when the water levels were more normal, or if I was to fish this on, let's say, an average like creek or a little stream somewhere in miscellaneous United States in the Midwest or Northeast or whatever, I think it would produce better. It still produced okay today, but I think with the water levels being higher, I think it didn't produce as well as it could have for a couple reasons. Number one, I think with the water levels here being higher, more bigger fish moved in. On this canal, I usually do not see this many larger fish, like those even 1 to 2 pound peacocks. I saw probably about a dozen of those. Normally, I don't see any. Normally on this canal, what I see are little bluegills and cichlids in the 4, 5, 6 inch class. If we do see a predator, it's going to be like, let's say, a 6 to 8 inch peacock bass, like a true juvenile. Today there were several adult peacock bass here, as well as like these larger Mayan cichlids. I saw a really big, I don't know, 10 plus pound grass carp. So all the small fish, I don't know if they're just here and hiding from the big fish, or they moved out, or what happened. But with the higher water levels, this canal today I don't think is very conducive to fishing these kinds of lures. I think if the water levels were lower, or if you fish this on like just your average creek or stream somewhere in the US, or you're going for like creek chubs or small sunfish, or even like larger like common and striped shiners, I think you would do a lot better. With all that being said, I will say I definitely do like this lure. Let me show you the one that I have been fishing. I obviously lost one to that peacock bass that broke me off, and I lost a second one to one of those Mayan cichlids while I was fighting. I guess it ripped off. So this is the third one, and really it looks a lot like a stonefly imitation in my opinion, which is just a great little forage species. In most of the US, most streams and creeks are going to have some stonefly larvae, at least in the summers and early fall and late spring and whatnot. And I think this lure will give you pretty good action, and you'll have a lot of success fishing it for those like smaller fish. So it's my second time fishing something from 13 Fishing. So far, I think I do really like their products. I got 2 more to try out. Something I noticed today, there's only 6 of them in the pack, because I went through 3 now, that my third one's on the jig, and there's only 3 left. Now these aren't super expensive, but to only give you 6 I think is a little low. And I mentioned this in my last video, but even though the lures I think are good, I don't like all this like hype branding they put on here, which, I mean, whatever. Like, what does, again, super mega certified mean? I don't know, but I think it's a pretty good lure. I think they make pretty good lures. We'll still test out the next 2 in the next 2 videos, and we'll see what happens. But I'm pretty happy with the 13 Fishing Spiny Lobster, even though we only got 2 fish on the bank. Still, I would still consider it a pretty good day. So hope you guys liked it, and I will see you guys next time.